that there are time-proven laws of success that guarantee that when you satisfy their conditions, you will turn out well. There's tremendous power in our world, tremendous energy pulsating through our world every nanosecond. And you can leverage this power that expresses itself in so many different ways to achieve your goals when you understand the principles through which the power works. When you put a seed in the soil, it germinates and begins to grow. The power that makes it to grow is invisible, but it's real. You cannot deny its existence. And when something is consistent all over the world like that, everywhere on this planet, we establish a law, the law of sowing and reaping. There's the law of gravity. There's the law of lift, the laws of aerodynamics. It's amazing. Once man has been able to understand how the principle works for something to lift into the air, we've been leveraging that. When you truly understand principles, it makes you creative, makes you innovative. You can adapt your world and the things in your world to create solutions. It's amazing. You know, you can create solutions to the challenges that you see in the environment. Because you understand principles, you can work with the principle of cause and effect. Planting a seed is a cause. You're causing something. The effect is the harvest. So there are principles that guarantee success. And those principles make success possible because there's power within the principle, and they make success predictable. Wouldn't you like to live your life that way, where you're not living by chance, you're not waiting for luck, before you can succeed? Some people create their own luck. When a farmer puts a seed in the soil, he's creating his own luck. Some months down the line, he's going to harvest. Or maybe some few years, he'll begin to harvest fruit. That's how you create your luck. You understand how principles work. Nothing hurts me more than seeing someone functioning below installed capacity. And I believe that the issue of confidence is critical to our ability to fulfill our potential. One of the major reasons why we lose confidence, or we don't have confidence, or we have low self-esteem is because we tend to build our sense of worth on our circumstances, on our possessions, or probably even our physical attributes. And that sometimes is where we make the mistake. Several years back, a friend of mine held up 2 currency notes. Same value. Let's assume it's $5 or €5 or £5, or 5 naira, the Nigerian currency, but same value. One is crisp new from the bank. The other is dirty, crumpled, rough, with lines on it, really dirty. So, my friend held the 2 of them up and said, "This is brand new. Now, this is really old and tattered and stained. Which do you think would buy more items from the market?" It's amazing that some people said the new one before they caught themselves. No, the new one won't buy more from the market. Okay, so the new one is crisp new. Yes, it's coming straight from the bank. Yes, yeah, it's better on the eyes. Yes, The other one is old, it's ragged, it's seen a lot in its lifetime. It's gone from the market to the hospital to the church it's gone around quite a bit. And it's dirty. And the big question is, which one will buy more? They will buy the same value of goods from the market. You know why? The big lesson in there is, as much as the dirty one has gone through a lot of places, has changed many hands, has been stained with a lot of things, probably it's even carrying a few germs, it doesn't matter. The intrinsic value of the figure written on it has not been destroyed. It's not been removed one bit. It still has exactly the same value as the crisp new note. Oh, it's amazing what happens when we stand next to someone who's better dressed than we are. When we stand next to someone who drove to the event in a better car. When we stand next to someone who has a better educational qualification. That's when we begin to lose our esteem, our sense of worth, and along with it, our confidence. Why? Because we're measuring ourselves through external factors, just like some would consider the dirty note. So we make big mistakes when we define ourselves by the things we've gone through or by our circumstances. Our intrinsic value is never eroded. What you think and say about yourself is far more important than what other people think or say. And the starting point is you. What do you think about yourself? What value do you place on yourself? See the way it works? You undervalue yourself, nobody's going to raise your price for you. They treat you exactly the way you choose to treat yourself. So my encouragement here is this. If you're going to have confidence, if you're going to build your confidence, you've got to learn not to build it on external factors, but on intrinsic factors. Some people worry that they may never be able to measure up to other people, that they may never be good enough. I think what we should be worried about is the possibility of us functioning below installed capacity. I think what we should be concerned about is the possibility of us not being the best that we could be. You are good enough for your destiny, good enough for your assignment on this planet, and you've got to recognize it. To build confidence, I encourage you to build your character. I encourage you to develop strong values. Very important. Set standards for yourself. Standards of behavior. Because I've come to realize negative behavior defeats our sense of confidence. It affects the way we feel about ourselves. So, build character. Strengthen your character. Choose to be honest. Choose to be trustworthy. Choose to have integrity. And that simply means what you say aligns with what you do. Who you are in private aligns with who you are in public. So I want to encourage that we build character. Okay? And you know how it is. It functions like the muscle. It's strengthened day after day after day, because we human beings are creatures of habit. So we can strengthen our character on a daily basis just by consistently keeping to some strong values. So honesty is a value, for example. Honesty is a value. Kindness is a value. Generosity is a value. We can subscribe to those values. Service is a value. Service is a value. Helping to meet people's needs, to solve problems for people. These are powerful values. Love is powerful. Choosing to love people genuinely, to care for people, to empathize with people. That builds confidence. So strong values, very critical. Have strong values. Okay? Have strong values. Primarily love. Because those values influence our behavior. They control our behavior. They help our decision-making process. And sometimes, sincerely speaking, we only have a split second to make a decision. Somebody hurts us, the natural human instinct is to hurt the person back. But when you have the strong value of love, you know forgiveness has to prevail over the desire for revenge. Not revenging sometimes makes us look weak. But sincerely speaking, when you write off somebody's debt, like that, emotional debt, when you forgive someone like that, you feel good on the inside. It strengthens your feeling. It's a positive feeling that it gives you, and it strengthens your resolve, strengthens your character. So build your character. That's absolutely critical to the process of building confidence. The other important thing here is for you to build your competence. Build your capacity to work and to solve problems. It helps your confidence. One of the things that defeats confidence the most on this planet is for you to want to do something and for you to fail at it, for you not to be good at it, especially if you've been trained for it and you've been employed for it and you are being paid for it. For you to not be able to do it will defeat your self-esteem. It will. So skillfulness builds esteem. For you to be able to do something and to be able to do it well. My first car, after some time developed a fault. I wasn't sure exactly what it was. It was a puzzle. And this was what happened. When I would drive on the highway, whenever I wanted to overtake another vehicle, at the point of accelerating, my engine would the sound of my engine would just go down like that. And it would stop moving. The accelerator didn't work anymore. I had to slow down. And the car, it would rev, the engine was still on, but I just couldn't get it to pick up and run. I would have to park by the roadside, put the engine off, and wait a few minutes, start it all over again before it would start and move. This thing took months and months because I took it to my mechanic. He did something to it, but it didn't work. It took months. One day, the car stalled in our neighborhood. We pushed it to the house. So my mechanic came, looked at it, and then the way he was speaking, obviously, he didn't know what to do. I could see it. I could hear it. He wasn't sure what to do. But he still recommended for me to buy some parts. And then it happened that there was a friend that had exactly the same kind of car. When I called him, he said, "Oh, my mechanic is very good. If you don't mind, I'll bring him tomorrow morning." I said, "Please." When my friend's mechanic arrived, He knew exactly where to go. Within 10 minutes, my car was up and functioning well. It's amazing. I've not forgotten it. It's been quite a number of years now. I have not forgotten. It was like magic. He knew the job. He knew what he was doing. So I'm saying here, competence on your job, skillfulness on your job, expertise will build your confidence. So I like to say to you, if you're a student in school, your business right now is reading. Do the reading well. The good grades will help your confidence. And some people are gifted for academics. We've got to accept that. Some people are just gifted. They don't work as hard as we do, yet they get the highest marks. It's the presence of a gift. So if you need to put in the hard work, put in the hard work and make sure you get your good grades. It will help your esteem. If you want to build confidence, function in the area of your gifting. Okay? Align your career with your strength. Your strengths help you to stand out. So, when you begin to do things that everybody else finds difficult, it builds your own self-esteem. It does. So, you should only just always bear in mind, your talent is given to you in raw form. It needs to be refined. It needs to be cultivated. It needs to be developed. The more you develop your talent, the more you develop your gift, the easier it is for you to succeed. Simple. Whenever you measure yourself against other people, just remember, you are measuring yourself against their strengths. And if you focus on your own weaknesses, you compare your weaknesses with their strengths, you will always come short. Okay? So everybody has strengths. I found it revolutionary when I realized that there are different kinds of intelligences. I found it revolutionary. It helped me in parenting. I found out that for the most part, the contents of our academic curricula only measures academic intelligence. Amazing. Only the ability to deal with numbers and verbal intelligence or linguistic intelligence. That's what the academic system can measure. And I found that there are different kinds of intelligences. You have kinetic energy or kinetic intelligence, which is what is demonstrated by people in sports and athletics. There's a connection between their brains and their bodies that is unique. And they are able to think and to move their bodies, accordingly and to achieve great things. Okay? And you have spatial intelligence, and people are able to draw, to do graphics, and so on. Okay? So different kinds of intelligences. Now, when you put someone with kinetic intelligence in an academic environment, if the person is not doing too well in class, but is doing very well in sports, it's amazing how sometimes the person is described as a dullard, because the person with kinetic intelligence is being measured by academic parameters. There was a particular scenario like that where during break, when all the students were out playing on the field and doing sports, this young boy who was not doing too well in his academics was made to sit in the class to do academic work. During the time when his colleagues were doing the thing that he excelled in, a change in schools helped him quite a bit, because then he was moved to a school that recognized that some kids are best in sports. Even though they may not be too good in their academics, he excelled, absolutely excelled. And as he did well in sports, which he loved, he now did better in his academics. And ultimately, he was able to gain a scholarship in the university on the basis of the sports where he excelled. Now, some of us have escaped into adulthood without these issues being resolved at all. All of our lives, we've been measured by parameters that can only define our weakness, not our strength. And we've defined ourselves also that way. I want to say to you, they may have called you a dollar, they may have called you a failure, but there is some dimension to you that is unique. Your genius is there waiting to find expression. I am encouraging that you should focus on your strengths. Define your strengths and focus on what is positive about you. Maybe people have told you all your life that you talk too much, that you talk all the time, you talk non-stop, and that shows that there's something wrong with you. I beg to disagree. If you can talk that much and they can't, it's an indication that's where your strength is. Is it possible to talk too much? Yes. But is it possible to talk a lot and to make sense? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. So that's your strength. Okay? Celebrate it. Focus on it. Now, don't focus on the wrong narrative, which is criticism. Shape the narrative, okay? And turn it into a strength. Recognize it for the strength that it is. It will help your confidence. You may have been listening to the wrong people for a long time. It's time to hear the right voice, okay? They may have told you that you're too quiet. You're too quiet. You don't talk. You're too quiet. There's nothing like that. Human beings were created to be different. Okay? You're being quiet and you're having the ability to think is a strength. That's where your genius is. Find it. Sharpen it. Okay? And if you can't find anybody around to encourage you, encourage yourself. Brush off all those negative labels that have been placed on you. Some people say you like to play too much, but who knows? See how huge the entertainment industry is. People want fun. People need to relax. People need recreation. And some people are earning millions and millions providing fun or providing entertainment for people. So what somebody thinks is wrong is right for somebody else. It's up to you to decide. But I'm saying it's your choice. Choose to focus on the positives in your life because that is where your genius is. Now, let's say you wrote an examination and you failed 9 subjects. You failed 9 courses and got an A in only one. That's an indication. Now, human nature will focus your attention on the 9 that you failed. But your genius is trying to find its expression through that one where you got an A. I'm saying if you want to have confidence, it's good you shift your thinking, your thoughts, your life, to rest on that area. It may seem small to you. It may seem narrow to you. But you build your personal narrative on the positives about your life. Focus on your strengths. Find your genius. The place where you achieve results more easily when you make as much effort as other people make. The same efforts that other people make, you achieve extraordinary results. That is pointing you to something. When you function there, you find out you have a lot of confidence. Speak with confidence. Now, that's powerful. I've come to discover the power in words. There's creative power in words. And if you're religious, you believe God created our world with words. There's power in words. Words have shaped our world. Words have caused or created peace. There's power in words. Okay? So, words spoken with confidence have tremendous impacts. Give expression to your confidence by speaking confidently. Speak like you know what you're saying. Speak like you're sure. There's power that backs words like that. Okay? So you pay close attention to people that are really successful, and you find out that they speak with confidence. They've mastered their subject. That's important. Why? Because we've encouraged you to function mainly in the area of your genius. So when you speak, speak with confidence. Whichever way it is, you know something that somebody else doesn't know yet. If they'll ever have confidence in what you are saying, they will only mirror the confidence that you have in what you are saying. So you've got to express confidence when you speak. There's power in faith-filled words. Let me give you an example. Permit me to use myself as an example in this instance. Many years ago, after I graduated and I couldn't get a job yet, I just had, I think I read something from a book, and I just had this paradigm shift about myself. And I began to tell people, I can never be poor again the rest of my life. I can never be poor again the rest of my life. And I said it with confidence. Why? Because the way I saw myself had shifted. I meant it. I began to tell people, I'm not a local champion. I'm going to the world. I'm a world champion. And I meant it. Why? Because I had now discovered my genius. I was discovering my strengths. For the first time, I read about temperaments, differences in temperaments and personalities. And I discovered, the strengths in being an introvert. It was amazing. It was eye-opening for me. Up until that time, I thought the guys that were friendly, that were sociable, they were the best guys around. I just loved to read and to stay all by myself thinking. I now discovered the power in that thinking. I discovered, the creativity in that thinking. It boosted my esteem. Okay? And then I found that I was getting ideas. I was getting visions. I was not satisfied, with my environment. I wanted something more, something bigger. So then I began to say it because that was what I saw in my imagination. It's amazing. Several years later, when I had begun to move on quite a bit, then I heard that one of my friends commented and said, oh, so those things that Sam was saying, so they're beginning to come to pass, so they're real. When I heard, I said, oh, you know what? It was what I said yesterday that you are seeing today. I'm already saying new things that you're going to see tomorrow. Because I discovered the power in words. The reason why sometimes we sidestep greatness or sidestep opportunities for breakthroughs is because we despise the intangible resources in our world. And words are intangible resources. Speak with confidence. Okay? Now, there is no point speaking with confidence when on your inside you're thinking something completely different. What you're saying needs to align with what you're thinking. Then you get powerful results. Okay? You should say what you believe. That's where the power is. So, speak with confidence. Okay? Answer questions with confidence. When you ask or demand for whatever you want with confidence. There's power in expressing confidence through your speech. So, build your confidence from the inside. Yes, express it in your words. And the amazing thing is when you speak, the person you hear loudest is yourself. You hear yourself before other people even hear you. The faith-filled words that you speak will build your confidence. There's a way we can dress or appear and feel confident. And there are ways that we can dress and not be confident. So you need to be deliberate to be sure that you put things on that boost your confidence and that help other people to have confidence in you. Okay? You don't need to be ostentatious. You don't need to be extraordinarily loud to grab people's attention. Okay? Actually, you overdo it and it makes people suspicious of you. There's a reason why lawyers put on dark colors a whole lot of the time. There's a reason why bankers most of the time don't put on flashy or loud colors because they want to have the confidence of their clients. So you need to dress well, to dress the part, to make, of course, the best use of the resources that you have for time, but make sure that you're not running down your own self-esteem with your appearance. The other important dimension is your posture. It's good for us to have a good physical posture. It's good for us to feel healthy. There are ways you stand and see, and it doesn't help your own self-esteem. It doesn't boost your own self-esteem. So I tell people, sit with confidence, okay? Sit like you're on top of the world. Sit like you're in charge. Our actions impact our thinking, and our thinking also impacts on our feelings. It's an expression of inner confidence, but at the same time, it helps to boost that confidence. I must emphasize, if you try to do on the outside what is not there on the inside, it's fake, okay? And ultimately, people are going to find out. Okay, it's not going to be real. Always start from believing. And then you act on the basis of what you believe. That makes it authentic.